Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 23 of Power Up, your favorite superhero podcast. I am your host, Marchese, aka the Beast NJ. With me, as always, is my faithful sidekick and co-host, Gregory Virga.
I'm back!
You can catch this show every Saturday on youtube.com/The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL. It goes live normally around 10 a.m. or if you want to throw us one bone or more on patreon.com/The Level Up Network. You'll get this show on Tuesday nights. That's a whole 5 days earlier.
Have I been gone that long? They're giving us bones now instead of money?
Yeah, we take human ligaments and pieces of flesh as currency.
I flip my table in disgust.
Let's begin the show. Greg!
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yes. New year, new us. Cheers,
Today,
everybody.
I'd like to toast to Greg's health. He's feeling better.
Yes.
He's had some family stuff going on.
Yes.
We all love you, buddy.
Thank you. Cheers to you.
I feel ready. I'm feeling ready now.
I love the mug thing. I'm happy we added that.
It's nice. It's a nice kickoff.
It's like a little. It's like
something.
here you go. This one's for you guys.
It's like a little something.
I'm so happy to be back. Yeah, you could still hear it in my nasal passage, my throat. I have bronchitis, so killing myself. But yeah, going through a lot of shit. I'm back. I'm on top. You're all beautiful people. Thank you everybody for all the nice messages. And sorry we couldn't supply you with Power Up last week, but like I said, we're back. We're beautiful.
Yep.
My eyebrows are on fleek. That's how you know it's gonna be a good.
You guys will be seeing a lot of us because if you are just a Power Up viewer, we do this thing. It's called Trophy Wars, where me and Greg go head to head getting PlayStation trophies. We're not gonna talk about that here.
I was like, wait, we're getting into the...
No. You can catch a whole bunch of that more on the YouTube channel as well as on our live show. This is a place of
warmth and
love
comfort.
and peace and superheroes,
okay.
Which is funny. Because we'll be shooting the Trophy Wars videos
right
after these, so we'll have to like learn how to turn back on like our competitive edge on.
We did it last year somehow. Last year we
didn't have Power Up.
Yeah, and we weren't best friends at that point.
I know,
like,
it's so funny.
It's crazy to think about that and to watch the content. Like Dean was telling me, everybody, just in case you want to go check out awkward ass times between me and Dean. Yeah. It was when we had just met each other that we started doing like the Trophy Wars videos and stuff. And if you watch them at first, it's just us kind of sitting there and we're really awkward for like gaps of time. Yeah. Now, if I see Dean, like I jump on him like a koala bear. Like it's so weird. Like the different...
Even our like banter, we're like, well, I think I'm gonna beat you. So
yeah, it's like almost animosity, but like we can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting. But I am excited to be back. There's been so much superhero news going on.
I know.
It's been
crazy superhero news.
Ridiculous, man.
It's all good news too, which is the best part.
It's all very good news. Yeah. Well, since we've been away for so long, why don't we just jump right into it with Greg's favorite segment, the Rumor Roundup.
It's the Rumor Roundup, y'all. I missed that so much.
Rumor number one.
What?
Could this Spider-Man hoodie be Spidey's new look for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And here it is.
What? Okay, so I kind of love this.
I don't know how to feel yet.
Okay, not as like the official suit, but I'm thinking, number one, I want to buy this for myself. Number two, I would be okay with it if they took out the stuff that made it something I would wear. Does that make sense to you? So like take out the drawstrings for the hoodie, take out the zipper itself. But I feel like the actual design of everything, I think is pretty, I think it's cool.
Well, yeah, I think that stuff like you mentioned is
like for merchandising.
Yeah, that's just because it's a hoodie, you know. But yeah, I think my thing with it is the messy webbing. I'm not sure where to come down on that.
Okay.
As far as the Spider-Man logo, and I like the arm bracer looking pads on
I love
his
those
forearms. I'm all about that, yeah. And this Spider-Man logo is like straight up 60s Ditko Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's things I like about it a lot, and the messy webbing. I don't know. I can learn to like it if that's what the actual suit looks like. One,
yeah.
I'm sure it'll look different.
I would assume no, though. If this harkens back to, I don't know if you guys remember, we did a rumor I think it was like now almost over a month ago where we had like the Magna fan art of Spider-Man, and it was like he had elbow pads and knee pads and stuff like that. This kind of harkens back to that a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love, like you said, those arm bracers are so cool. I see where you're coming down on the messy webbing. It kind of just looks like shattered glass more so than
it looks like colored pencil.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like somebody got to finger paint Spider-Man's costume.
But the caveat there is, if you ever look at like the official merchandise for anything Marvel, like the Iron Man, the Iron Man hoodies that are made to look like Iron Man's suit, like they always look kind of weird. Yeah. So then I'm like, that might look really cool when it's actually done, by like live action and their team, like stitched into the suit and stuff. So if that is actually the suit, but we do have a quote here from one of the folks over there that run this merchandise website. So Merchoid Community Manager, which is the website that was selling these items, Jessica Adams, has commented on the image saying, "There's been lots of talk online. People have been really excited that this could be what reveals the new look for Spider-Man. However, Marvel is doing a fantastic job of keeping the new Spider-Man costume under wraps, so we haven't seen it yet. What we can say is this hoodie was designed in partnership with Marvel, who provided all of the design elements from their 2016 merchandise range, including the messy webbing." So it sounds like it's going to look something like this.
It's going to look very similar to this. If not, it's definitely the merchandising, the hood and the zip and the ties for the hood, I think aren't going to be in there. But as far as the actual design goes, like I said, I'm okay with it. Well,
that's the thing. Yeah, like you said about the actual hoodie components of it. It's interesting because it's a hoodie, so they have to have those things on it. Yeah. But also, the image that was rumored to be the Spider-Man costume was like a hoodie. So
he is a teenage kid after all. So like this would make sense for his thing. I just don't want that. That can't be his costume. You know what I mean? Like that's not his suit.
I don't know.
Even the fake in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, everybody take a trip with me in my TARDIS, if you will. And we're going back in time here. His first outfit in the first Spider-Man movie, before he gets the official Spider-Man outfit, it's like the one he uses at the wrestling ring and everything. Like even that I think is a little bit better looking than this one. And that was kind of like rags that he sewed together, I believe, in the movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like a red hoodie he made up himself.
Yeah.
By the way, I watched that recently. Just a little sidebar. It was on FX, I think.
Holds up,
dude. Parts of it, yes. Parts of it are really, really cringeworthy. But the part in the beginning after the wrestling match, when he finds Uncle Ben dead,
we don't talk about it.
And he goes, he starts like sprinting down the street. From that point, that whole sequence up until he finds the criminal is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
Yep.
He learns how to like climb the building, like really climb, and then like he's like, okay, I got this. And then he starts like really moving, and you're like, oh shit, dude, like that. I remember that. I remember being in theaters. I was like, wow, like this is fucking Spider-Man.
All the first moments. When he does, like, even when he's on the rooftops, I think, and he's like trying to jump from rooftop to rooftop, and he does it, and the joy and excitement that's on his face, where he's like, whoa, and he's like screaming from the rooftop. Like, I love that scene. I remember seeing that for the first time in the movie, and I was just like, this is fucking awesome, dude.
There were things that not enough people talk about, in my opinion, that Tobey Maguire specifically nailed as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And one that always stood out for me is when he first like gets grips with swinging. Around the city, whenever he's swinging around the city, no matter what situation is at hand, when you see him, like when they like pan back a little bit and you see him like really like dipping out from a building, he's always like, whoa, like, he fucking nails that.
He's so like, excited all the time.
Spider-Man feeling. I'm like, he crushes that, dude.
Yeah.
Too bad about that third movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too bad for everything else that came after that.
But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The costume could be cool. I think if this is actually the costume, it's got a lot of promise.
I wish it was a pullover hoodie, and then I would buy this right now.
You're a pullover guy, huh?
I like pullovers. I'm not a zip-up guy.
I'm a zip-up guy, but I respect the pullover. I am, yeah.
I like the pullover. It makes me feel warmer and snugger.
That's exactly what I don't like about it. That's funny. I don't like the confined feeling, you know?
Really? I love the confined feeling.
Because like if I have a zip-up on, I'm like, okay, I know if I start feeling like claustrophobic, I can just be like, zip, I'm free. But if you have a pullover on, it's like a whole thing. You gotta, if you're wearing a hat, you gotta take your hat off. You gotta get all like ruffle it up, get it.
See, zippers remind me of straight jackets for some reason.
Straitjackets don't have zippers.
I know. That's what scares me. I don't know why they do that, but they do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Rumor number 2. Are Supergirl and the Flash having a crossover episode?
Yeah!
CBS President Geller has this to say on the matter.
Oh my god.
I have to really be careful what I say here. But I want to say watch and wait and see what happens. Otherwise, yes, it sounds like that's absolutely what's happening.
Listen. So everyone's like, okay, CBS and the CW, they're partner companies. They have all the same executive producers, and the showrunners and writers on The Flash and the Arrow on the CW are the same exact producers, writers, and showrunners on Supergirl.
Right.
With the exception they added a female presence on the Supergirl show. But it's all there. All the dominoes are ready. Just fucking tap them and tell me that Kara is going to be coming to fucking Star City. Like, come on, dude. Like, this needs to happen.
I think it's coming. Do you think that will be... So do you think that will be the case? Is it going to be Kara going to Star City, or you think the Flash is going to be going to... What does Kara watch over? Not Metropolis.
No, she does National City.
National City. You think the Flash will be coming there?
I think inevitably it would be Flash and Arrow both coming there, especially with the reveal of spoilers for Supergirl if you're not caught up. But this was everywhere on the internet too. Martian Manhunter is now on the show. And he's kind of teaching her a whole bunch of stuff dealing with her powers with flight. And he's like showing her what he can do as a person. They just showed that he has the power to like morph into other people, and she was like, "What? Like you could do that? It's kind of creepy."
So did she find out? No, I fell off on the show for a while there, but
I'm sorry for your loss.
I might come back to it.
It's really good. I love this show.
Did she ever find out who he is? Who the Martian Manhunter is pretending to be?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. She found out. They're very smart on the reveals and everything that are happening. We're only, I believe this is going to be the 10th episode that's premiering tonight. So we're only 10 episodes in, and like a lot of the things that a normal show would do to drag out a season, like they're just like hitting it, you know what I mean? Which is good for them. And I think they need to get a lot of the BS out of the way. And they did that with the pilot, especially. That's why I was like, we both watched the pilot. I was like, yes, I'm sold. You're like, I'm not watching this corny ass show.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being, I love it.
Well, to be fair, the pilot I stand by, I thought was really awful. I watched about 4 episodes after that, and I enjoyed them. It wasn't a thing with Gotham where I was like, all right, I'm done. It was just a thing where like
time.
Yeah, it's just time, and there was a lot to watch at the time, and there was a lot coming out, and we were doing a whole bunch of stuff, and like just couldn't keep up.
The other quote that I like to mention with this rumor is Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin presented an award at the Golden Globes together, and they walked out together, and they were like, we may be your superheroes, but these are top choices for whatever. It was like corny as shit, but like it was cool to see like the actor who plays the Flash and the actress who plays Supergirl together on stage. And they had an interview afterwards, and they said something about the Legion of Superheroes and how they would love to see all of the superheroes come together in a thing. And then Melissa kind of looked at him, and it was awkward. If you can go check out the interview online, and like she was kind of like, I don't know if we were supposed to say that, Grant. And he just gets like excited when he talks in interviews. So I wanted to add that little tidbit of Legion of Superheroes. I don't know what the hell that could mean, but with Legends of Tomorrow coming and all these other heroes making their appearances for the first time, it's very possible we see them all merge.
Let me find this. You guys are getting this on the fly because I actually read this and I didn't add it, but now that Craig mentioned it, it's worth a read. Jeff Johns says that a Legion of Superheroes tease is coming to one of the DC Comics television series.
Ooh, so maybe Grant was allowed to say that then.
Yeah. All he said is keep watching. You'll see a hint of the Legion on one of our shows.
Okay, so they have a lot of shit cooking. I don't know what the hell's going on, but like I love all of this. And I'm so happy that DC is crushing it, at least on the TV front. With the exception of Gotham. I fell off of that show.
Yeah. Well, to give my final thoughts on this rumor, I think they would really benefit from having the Flash go to
National City.
So more people, because CBS is the parent network that owns CW. Even though CW, as Greg reported in the last episode we did, the CW is primetime television now. Yeah. So why not have the Flash go over to CBS where there's more of a viewer base and be like, hey, this is what you're missing. Yeah. Head over to CW and start watching the Flash.
100%.
So
to get those characters all beloved by all the little girls and all the new fans that they have on Supergirl now, it just makes sense.
Yeah, this is cool though. I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope this happens. Fingers crossed, everybody. I need this to happen.
All of our shows are
coming back this week.
It's this week, right?
Yep.
I didn't want to say it before I was sure, but that's
the 21st this week. We're recording this on the 18th. We record on Mondays as per usual, but Legends of Tomorrow's premiering this Wednesday. Flash is coming back Tuesday. Arrow's on Wednesday. Or no, I'm sorry, excuse me. Flash is Tuesday. Arrow is Wednesday. Legends of Tomorrow is Thursday, and Supergirls is always Mondays. It's every day of the week you get a fun-filled superhero show.
So I'm sure we'll have a lot to say the next episode about all of our best favorite shows coming on back.
TV talk is gonna be a long segment.
This is the week where tomorrow night, which is the time we're recording this, would be Tuesday night tomorrow, is the night that we get the new Suicide Squad trailer. We're gonna get the Legends of Tomorrow half-hour special, the Dawn of Justice half-hour special, a Wonder Woman preview, and then the new episode of The Flash.
This is crazy that I'm alive for this time.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm happy I got through the bronchitis.
And with all the rumors behind us, Greg, it's time for some news.
News.
Number one. Wait, I'm sorry. I'd like to tell you how many we have. There are 12 items on the list today.
Not a half a dozen.
No, that's shy of a baker's dozen. An actual baker's dozen.
Okay, so explain to me the baker's dozen, because it's 12 plus 1.
Yeah. So what happens? These bakers get a little rambunctious, right?
They're like, hey, guys.
They're making the dough. They're making the dough. They make extra because they don't want to run short, because a dozen is what is purchased. Okay. So they have to hit the dozen.
Yeah.
So they always make a little extra just to make sure they hit that dozen.
But sometimes.
So they throw that 13th in there because they have the extra dough, because it's better to have it than to not have it when you get to the end of the batch.
Number one, I'm going to throw this out there. I like bagels.
Yeah, shout out to bakers.
Shout out to bakers. Shout out to bagels. Shout out to bacon, egg, and cheeses.
Yeah, that's
all I have to say about that.
I agree with everything you've said.
This is how we start off the news segment.
Number one, Zacky Snyder, as I've written here for some reason, talks about Doomsday and the future of Batman and Superman. And a little quote is...
The red capes are coming.
To us, it really made sense to give Doomsday to the audience now. I suppose this is commenting on what a lot of the fans and critics have been talking about.
So everybody in America.
Yeah, right. It makes sense to give Doomsday to the audience now. I really wanted to make the audience a promise that, though I'm super excited and happy and fulfilled by the conflict of Batman and Superman, there's also a bigger world to start thinking about. So that's fine, right? I get it. He wanted to start weaving in threads that will expand the universe outside of this movie, because everyone's been like, when are they going to start having their expanded universe? When are we going to see Justice League? Like, I get that.
The thing that scares me about this is the fact that, like, Marvel did it in such a way, and I hate to compare the two, but like, what else are we going to compare it to? Marvel did it in such a way where it was every individual story, so you could get behind all of the characters as a whole in order to support the team, aka the Avengers. And that's what made that moment so impactful, I feel. That first shot you get of all the Avengers in New York in the first film, when the circle goes around you, Dean has it as a poster above his television. Like, let's be real, people. Like, that was a moment that we all experienced. But I don't know if we see, like, it's cool to see the shots of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, like, all standing together. But, like, at the end of the day, if we hate the actors that portray them, or, like, we're not supporting any of the stories that they're in, like, other than just looking cool, it doesn't mean much. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what
exactly
scares me about this.
When that trailer came out. Like, everyone was like, can you believe this? It's the Trinity. And, like, I didn't get that feeling. I was like, that's a really cool shot.
Yep.
But I didn't get that same feeling as when the payoff from all of these Marvel movies was the Avengers full circle taking on an army of aliens. And I was like, holy shit.
And that's such a good word to use, is it was such a payoff for us. Like, I felt like we paid our dues at that point. Not sat through. I enjoyed all the other Marvel movies, but like, we sat through all the individual stories. And then when that moment finally happens, you're like, no.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like, you become like a kid again. And Like,
They
I
didn't
need
earn it
DC to
yet.
do that. Exactly.
They didn't earn this yet. The last thing they've done well, to a lot of people's opinions, though I disagree because I really enjoy Man of Steel, are the Batman Christopher Nolan movies, which aren't connected. Yeah. So, like, you haven't set up anything. You haven't really developed anyone except for your new Superman, who you're already putting on the back burner.
I was just going to say, who now you're underutilizing in the
Yeah, because you're not giving him his sequel right off the bat. You're too worried about cramming all these. And, you know, we had a lot of comments about, you know, our opinions on the trailer, and like, that's fine. If you guys liked it, good for you. Love it. That's great. I hope you love the movie. I hope we love the movie. Same. But all we have to go by is what exists right now. And as far as we're concerned, I think I can speak for the both of us that they just haven't earned that moment yet, and they want us to feel something from it, and we can't because there's nothing to support it yet. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'm happy you took all the words I was feeling and put them into, because you know me, I get too excited about life, and you word my thoughts. That's why I try. I'm glad I can do that for us. Zack Snyder also talked a little bit about the new Batmobile and how it differs from the Dark Knight's Tumbler. This is interesting. It is a little bit interesting. At first I read it and I judged it at face value, and then I went back and reread it because I was like, all right. Yeah. And then I read it again and I was like, okay, it's worth knowing. Yeah. So he says, I think the cool thing that we try to do, you've seen the Chris Nolan Batman movies as the Tumbler and the Tumbler. They repurposed a military vehicle. So the cool thing about our Batmobile is it is purpose-built by Bruce Wayne to be the Batmobile. It allows it to be slightly battier. I love that quote a lot. It's really cool that as much as the Nolan movies were amazing for a whole bunch of reasons, the Batmobile kind of felt short for me. It felt like felt like a tank. It didn't feel like the Batmobile. It felt like an awesome vehicle that Batman just happened to get into every once in a while. You know what I mean? If anything, the best vehicle that we saw in all the films was the Bat Bike. That was one of my favorites. Yeah, they kind of abandoned the Batmobile after the first movie. Yeah, they kind of abandoned it completely, and then we had the Bat Bike in 2, and then the Bat Wing in 3 was a big part of it. Hashtag spoiler alert. Alfred, Fanny Brankers. But I'm excited to see this new Batmobile. From all the screenshots, everything that we're seeing of it so far, it kind of looks like it has the weight of the Tumbler and the feel of power behind it. But like he said, like, without being corny, it's battier for sure. Like, it feels darker. It feels like this is something that Bruce Wayne made. Not Lucius Fox giving this to him. Hashtag Morgan Freeman. The waters receded. Batman. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it in live action. I'm excited that Ben Affleck's gonna be fucking Batman. Like, that's so cool. The Batmobile does look cool too. Yeah. I'm excited. I played the only real things I know of it is what they've put it in Arkham Knight, and I liked it there. That was cool. This is really true. Cool. This is true. Actually, that was our first taste of that. Yeah. I forgot about that. Did you notice, by the way? I put DC news first this week because I feel like I was so biased that, not intentionally, but I always put Marvel news first. And so I was like, I'm going to flip it. I noticed that you switched it, and then I added in a couple news stories myself, and I kept your story train going. There you go. I appreciate all the little things you do. I want it to be fair. Jonah Hex. That was our segue. Jonah Hex. That's gonna be my segue just in general. Okay, I love that so much. For life. I'm gonna be at work and be like, sure, you want a large coffee? Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex. I was like, what? Can I get a plain bagel? I enjoyed that a lot. Jonah Hex will make his television debut in Legends of Tomorrow. Cool stuff. I'm so excited for the show, Dean. Like, everything I see about this show, I don't know where you're coming down on this one, to be honest. On the whole show? On the whole show. Are you excited for this? I maintain my original. You're like gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm not really excited for it. There's no one particularly on the roster that I really give a shit about. For you, Captain Cold. Dude, that guy. My name is Leonard Snort, and I'm here to freeze y'all. When you see him in the trailers, like, it's so bad. Isn't anybody ever gonna be like, listen, stop fucking talking like that? I feel like they're using him to try to become the leader of the group. They really are. And like, I don't feel like Wentworth Miller, who's the actor that plays him, has that much cachet behind himself. Yeah. Not only that, but like, Leonard Snort is so corny. Even in the trailers, he's like, I'm no hero. And he's like, I know you're not a hero. You're a legend. I'm like,
Why?
Yeah, he says that he's like, oh God. He's like, you think we're supposed to be the good guys?
Yeah, like
I'm
all
like,
those
dude,
lines.
could you be any worse? He's
It's so
bad.
black and white. And speaking of, that's my favorite character. That's why I'm invested in the show. I'm so excited for White Canary. Katie Lotz is back. She's finally got her not the two sticks, her bow staff back. I'm just so happy. I love that character. I think Katie played her phenomenally as Black Canary.
Yeah.
Regardless of how the hell she came back to become White Canary,
Yeah.
I'm happy that she's here. And also props to Ray. The Atom, Ray Palmer will be back.
He's cool. Yeah, he's at this point, he's probably the most compelling reason for me to watch the show. And it's just those little things. I'm actually really intrigued by the time travel aspect, which I'll get to in a second with Jonah Hex. And I think if they just didn't include Heatwave and Captain Cold, I would be more excited about this.
I agree with you with that.
You know, I don't understand what makes them like viable characters for this. It doesn't.
I hope their reasoning for them joining the team makes sense, and it's not just kind of like, well, in the future you're heroes. So
yeah, I hope so, but
I hope there's a deed or something that happens to Leonard Snart and his family that's like, all right, this is why I have to become a hero now.
Yeah.
You saw trickles of it in The Flash, but
it would be cool if there's a redeeming moment where like he stops talking like such a douchebag and he like gets real for a minute.
Yeah, with like his brother especially, because Heatwave is his brother in crime. I don't know if they're brothers in real life. Are they? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but they start on Prison Break together too. The two actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am excited about this, what I'm about to read here, because it leaves the options open for new characters to appear from the DC Comics lineup just based on being able to time travel, which is great. So Jonah Hex is going to be making his debut, and the executive producer Mark Guggenheim commented that ever since we decided that Legends would involve time travel, we were eager to do a story set in the Old West.
I love this quote because it reminds me, and this is why I get excited for the show when they quote stuff like this, because it's very reminiscent of Doctor Who. And I don't know if everybody's very similar with BBC shows, but even Sherlock, like each episode stands on its own as well as the series as a whole, because each new time period, each new place you go to, there's always like its own setting, its own feeling in each individual episode. So if Legends of Tomorrow can do that on the CW, that's what's crazy. Like this is on the CW, like that's insane.
Yeah.
And like if they nail the settings and nail these characters, dude, like I feel like this show could be really, really good.
I think so.
I'm excited.
That's what makes me excited, really, is because Doctor Who seems interesting, and I tried to get into it, and like I couldn't.
This is like your Doctor Who.
And
it's
so
like
that's
superheroes.
like, they're like, okay, we'll do that with superheroes for people who like superheroes. So
yeah, exactly.
It'd be cool. I'm definitely gonna check it out. But we'll see what happens. I think it's cool that they're open to go as far as to doing something in the Old West with superheroes. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
So yeah, we'll let you guys know more. When does that premiere? This week?
That is this week, Thursday, the 21st of January.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, I think it's I'm not sure if they're doing a 2-hour premiere either. All the commercials I keep saying it's like a huge premiere, but I don't know if they're just saying like huge as in like it's big because we have a brand new show, or if it's huge as in like it might be 2 hours. Like they might show the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for that. Legends of Tomorrow this Thursday. And if you're watching this on Saturday, sorry you missed it.
Moving on to number 4. You can currently preview the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice soundtrack scored by Hans Zimmer and Tom Holkenberg. He's got some other weird name, that Holkenberg fella. I refused to write it because it was like JVXM. And I was like, I'm not fucking writing that. You're Tom Holkenberg.
Yeah, I like that.
You can preview it on YouTube, and a spoiler-free track listing is also listed on iTunes as well as floating around the web.
Okay, so not to bring it to this kind of news, but this happened with Star Wars 2. The soundtrack released early to preview. And I couldn't listen to it just because I saw one of the titles and it said Ray's theme on it. And I got so nervous, like about like the musical notes would give me clues to the story. But like I get nervous about it spoiling for me somehow in the soundtrack. Yeah. So like me personally, I'm going to stay away from this, but I'm excited for the soundtrack.
I looked at it. There's nothing.
Was it okay?
Yeah, there's nothing. You're fine if you wanted to check it out. It's and with that in mind, it's honestly not really worth looking at because there's nothing. It's just like it's like Batman. It's like, do we need a Superman? Like we understand there's already people questioning that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's not.
And it's not like anything crazy.
Have you listened to it?
No, not at all.
It's what you expect. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's just one. It's just a preview of one of the songs. Sounds a lot like the music we've been hearing in the trailers.
Reminiscent to Man of Steel.
Yes, yeah, it is actually. There's those same drum beats you can hear. It's almost like they did blend that Man of Steel song into it.
I like the timpani in that song. You can hear like the weight of the drums in the Man of Steel soundtrack.
Yeah, agreed.
Made it feel very important.
It's good though. It's cool. It's worth a listen. It's just one song. It's like 30-second song. If you guys want to check that out,
you can always trust the Hans Zimmerman.
Yeah, he does that. That
He's
guy
incredible.
is just like signed for life doing superhero soundtracks.
I know, it's so true.
He does them all.
I hope he likes them.
Yeah, he must, right? You'd have to be sick of it by now, if not.
Yeah.
That's probably really compelling to score though, if you think about it. Like,
oh my God, you make these themes for these iconic characters.
Stuff, you know.
They do what? Sorry.
They usually screen that stuff like for the orchestra. There's like they have it up on like a projector.
Oh yeah. Like to give them the scenes.
Yeah. For it and stuff. So like, if you're watching that, it's probably really inspiring to like think of a cool,
crazy
kind of a score to write. You know what I mean?
I could only imagine the Man of Steel scene where he takes flight for the first time, like that in the trailer when the ground starts to shake and break, and like you're playing your instrument at that image. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's out there.
If you guys want to stuck with the clarinet.
You sure should have.
I apologize, Mom.
Number 5, a new Suicide Squad poster has been released just ahead of the Suicide Squad trailer.
Did you say Julieast? Was that a nod to me, Dean? These posters actually look really awesome.
And here they are for our video watchers.
You always have the images up on cue. They're so cool. They remind me a lot of, I don't know if you're going to get this vibe from it, but if anybody is in the video game world, I'm trying to think of the game, Guacamelee. They remind me of like Mexican folk art.
The Day of the Dead kind of art style.
Yeah.
With the sugar skulls.
Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what they reminded me of. I think that's kind of what they're going for.
Oh, really? Okay, so
it seems like that.
I got the message, guys.
Yeah, I don't think you can unintentionally make that so similar to that art style.
Yeah. Notably, I love my favorite shot is the Joker individual because the smile is in the shape of a bat.
Yeah, which I didn't actually realize until Mike pointed that out, and I was like, that's a good.
Oh,
catch.
really? Yeah.
And
even like Harley Quinn's eyes, she has the heart and the diamonds cracked from the cards. Katana has her dot up top. Killer Croc has the chain around his neck there. Deadshot with the eye scope, and so on and so forth. They all look really good. Very true to all the characters as a whole.
The only one that I may have altered is, I don't know who the character is, the one on the left that looks like Ghost Rider. Everyone's gonna think that's Ghost Rider. Yeah,
let's be honest, it is Ghost Rider. If Nicolas Cage doesn't make an appearance in this movie, we'll all be upset.
But they look cool, man. These individual, the Harley and the Joker I have over here on the right, every character got their individual poster online, so they're all cool. Check them out.
Yeah, cool images for sure. I would like them as emojis.
Yeah,
just throwing that out
I can see that. Isn't it funny? Out of all of these, even in just like a minimalist kind of art form, the Joker is still the most compelling thing to look at.
Oh my God, he is just,
that character carries so much weight.
When I tell you that DC hit the gold mines when they made the Joker, like he's the most insane person that you have to love.
Yeah.
You have to. I've never met anybody that has seen the Joker, regardless if you like superheroes or not. If you show them The Dark Knight, if you show them like a cartoon where the Joker's like just wreaking havoc, a video game, like everyone's always like, wow, he's interesting to say the least.
And tell you what, you know what they have to thank for that is Tim Burton. Because before the 1989 Batman, the Joker was so campy. He was like a clown. Yeah. He was just like not creepy at all. He was just like very jovial, and the psychoticness of him did not come in until Tim Burton and Jack Nicholson, and then they really started on the path with Mark Hamill and so on and so forth. So especially
as far as like grittiness goes, that's so true. That was like the first gritty take on him, and it was a good movie.
Yeah,
like that movie.
It went a long ways because we're still looking at this character like he's brand new.
Yeah,
he's so compelling.
Every iteration of him is always like, oh my God, the Joker.
Everyone gets excited to see him. That's how you know you made a good villain.
Yeah,
it's because you get excited to see him. You know, usually you're excited to get to see the villain because you know the bad guy's gonna get his ass beat.
Yeah, that's true actually.
But the Joker, you just want to see him. What he's doing.
That's so true. That statement.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now that you say that, I'm thinking about that. That's like really, really true. Most of the time, you're just like, oh wow, the hero gets to one up this piece of shit. Right, but like with the Joker, you're kind of like, is he gonna win? Like, I kind of want him to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 6, DC Universe Online, which I've played and very much enjoyed, is heading to Xbox One this spring. Finally.
I know it's crazy. Well, Sony, just give you a little clarification here. It's on PS3, it's on PS4, it's on PC even. It's an MMO if you haven't ever played the game before or even
play as well. So check it out.
I played it for a little bit as well. I liked it a lot. The MMO style genre is just not for me, but the game itself was awesome. The lore is fantastic. Creating your own superhero and then joining one of the Justice League or one of the villains from the Legion of Doom is incredible. And I'm happy that Xbox One people finally get this. Sony formerly owned the studio that created the game, so that's why they had rights to it for so long. But I'm happy that now they're porting it over. And the Microsoft gang can get on it.
It's come a long way, for sure. Yeah. I'll tell you that because I actually played it when it was released on PS3. I think that was in...
Oh, you played it like originally.
Yeah, now it's a digital download thing, but I bought it when it was like
oh my god, when it was a disc
game. Yeah. Hold on, I might have it right here actually.
That's craziness. I forgot that it was a disc. Wow.
Yeah, a disc-based game. I bought it as full price.
And it was subscription at that point still. Now it's free to play.
With 30-day subscription was included.
Wow. As he reads the case, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy.
Yeah, I played
That's
it
like a relic.
It really is, yeah. I played it a while back then, and I kind of fell off, and then it came to PS4, and I picked it back up for a good month or so. I actually love MMOs. The only problem is I just... For the lifestyle I would like to live and play all these different things and do podcasting videos and stuff, I can't invest time.
That's so true.
An MMO.
But yeah, if you guys haven't ever checked it out before, we'll probably report on our show here when the actual release date comes out, etc., etc. But be sure to keep an eye out for that one.
It's a good game. It's fun. Doesn't get enough publicity for sure.
I agree with that.
Number 7, Chris.
And
Pine.
P.S. Pause.
Yeah.
When if you want to see, if you're intrigued by all the DC Universe Online, go check out the original launch trailer. It's like a 10-minute sequence.
Oh yeah, good call, dude.
One of the greatest trailers for a game I've ever seen in my life. It shows you the Justice League versus the Legion of Doom and a CGI trailer they create. Oh, phenomenal. Go check that out.
I could have watched an entire movie like that.
Oh my god, me too. I would have been overjoyed to do that.
Bad Blood is coming out next month.
I know.
I'm so excited.
Oh my god, Batwoman, and I can't.
That's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be the best one.
Number 7, Chris Pine confirms that Wonder Woman film will take place during World War I. Interesting.
Yeah, this is weird. He says too that he definitely confirms this. They filmed the scene, or they're planning to film these scenes and everything. But he's like, I'm not going to say the whole film takes place there. Right. So at the end there, I threw in the if only partially. But it's still a cool scene. We never really see World War I a lot in movies. Yeah. We all the time. World War II is like the biggest publicized war in everywhere.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I'm excited that it's World War I for sure. That's what I found interesting the most about the story.
Yeah, and as Greg mentioned, he says if only partially, and then Connie Nelson, who you may know from The Gladiator, The Following, or Boss, has been cast as Wonder Woman's mother, Queen. How do you say this?
Hippolyta. Yeah, we originally had it as a rumor roundup that Nicole Kidman was going to be up for the role as the part, but she is doing an HBO series called, I believe it's like If We Were Big or something weird. And it made it impossible for her to do it with the schedule of the filming of the movie. So Connie Nielsen is awesome. Like Dean said, you could check her out. She was the Queen in Gladiator, if you remember that movie. And then yesterday. And she was in the following with Kevin Bacon on Fox. Had a good role there as well. And now she's currently on Boss, which I think is on Starz or Showtime, one of them. But she's a solid actress. Yeah. Good for her. And happy they finally got that role down pat because everybody else is cast.
Was she ever on an episode of Friends?
She might have been. I saw the image that they released with her with this news, and her face reminded me of like a sitcom or something. I thought she was on How I Met Your Mother, but it might have been Friends that I was thinking about subconsciously.
She looks like there was an episode of Friends where Joey was doing a bad play.
Yes!
He like fell in love with the actress, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not seeing it on her IMDb.
And this is all very fresh in my head because I just watched Friends for the first time recently. Yeah. That's so crazy. That's the exact part that I thought she was from.
I'm not seeing it on her IMDb, but she looks like that actress for sure. Okay, moving on into some Marvel news now, and some particularly exciting news to me personally. Number 8, Lego Marvel's Avengers is confirmed to get Captain America: Civil War and Ant-Man DLC for free after the game's launch on January 26th in the US and the 29th in Europe.
Awesome. Number one, me and Dean have been talking about this for like the past 7 episodes of Power Up. Are they gonna do the DLC for these movies? They ended up being Phase 2 and Phase 3. They're doing it. Not only are they doing it, but it's free. That's so awesome of them.
Yep, it's amazing. It's not
no specific like launch date yet on the DLC itself, but
right.
Yeah. I would assume it would come like a month after, if that. Give longevity to the game.
Probably. Yeah. There is a season pass coming as well for the game. I don't know what's going to be included in that, but you better believe that I'm going to get it.
Is this the first Lego game to have a season pass?
No. Lego Batman 3 had a season pass.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Lego Marvel Superheroes had just a couple of like character packs that you could get.
Okay. But that wasn't a season pass.
It wasn't. No, there was just character packs. No new trophies or anything like that.
Yeah.
Lego Batman 3 had a season pass with expansion packs. They had
that was Beyond Gotham, correct?
Yes, very good one. If you want to see how like far the Lego games mechanics have come, Lego Batman 3 and Lego Marvel Superheroes are 2 of my favorites ever.
Wow. Okay. Did you ever play Lego tangent here, as we usually do on Power Up?
Yeah.
The Lego Jurassic World?
No, you know what? I had it on my wish list on Amazon for a long time. And I always go back and forth because I'm just not so sure how much my interest in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World would really carry me, because I'm not a huge... I like them. I watch them. Yeah. But, like, that's all it is for me, you know? Like,
it's not a love.
I watch it, I have fun, I move on. It's not like a thing on mine.
I always meant to ask you that, and that's just... I wanted to do it while I had the chance to remember.
I heard it was good. It's just...
yeah, I heard it was good, too.
You know, I don't know if I would really enjoy a whole game about it, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lego Batman 3 was the first one with season passes. It had a whole, and it had new packs, like proper. It had Adam West 1960s level pack, and they had like new levels and stuff like that. And then they had a Green Arrow pack where you were Stephen.
Oh yeah, it was based on the TV show. I remember the whole advertising campaign for that. Stuff. Yeah. Oh, so I forgot about that. That was cool.
But with these coming for free, I'm wondering what will be in the season pass. Personally, maybe they'll be doing some comic storylines in the season pass, like Secret Wars or something like that. That would be really cool.
That would be incredible.
So yeah, I'll let you guys know. It's coming out next week, and I have it pre-ordered.
Yeah, we'll give you guys Dean will review that on the show. I would imagine you would, right? Yeah, at least a quick review. And we'll let you guys know when the DLC gets its release date too.
100%. Number 9, some excellent news. Creed director Ryan Coogler has been confirmed to direct Black Panther.
Thank God it happened.
So happy, dude.
This is so awesome.
This is totally essential in this movie's success story.
Yeah, 100%.
This had to happen, and now that it has happened, I'm really excited to see, just on sheer curiosity, like how long a ways the name Marvel and a great director like Ryan Coogler can carry a B-list
unknown
or C-list character over. I mean, everyone now is saying, "Oh, Black Panther," but like you don't care about
who the fuck knew who Black Panther was. I barely knew who Black Panther was.
I knew who he was, but like I'm not out there searching for Black Panther comics or anything like that. Like, it's cool when he shows up.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's acting like he's been their guy now, but because he looks awesome in the Civil War trailer. But I'm
happy to jump on the Black Panther bandwagon after this news, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm waiting to see. Like, if this guy, because of this is a dynamite fucking choice, man, and I don't know. I'm waiting to see, like, could they actually make the Black Panther such an unknown character, like, of Iron Man level success? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if ever there was going to be a chance for it, it's this.
Yeah, 100%. And if you guys don't know who Ryan Coogler is, as we're ranting about him, he did Krieg, like Dean said, and then he also did Fruitvale Station, both with Michael B. Jordan. So I wonder if he's going to have a role in Black Panther at all. That would be awesome for him.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Get him away from Fantastic Four as far away as possible. But yeah, he's done amazing movies now. Creed is up for so many awards this year, so props to him. Congrats to him. He did an awesome job with that film.
I would like to see Fruitvale Station, so I never saw it.
I never saw it either. I hear good from our buddy Drew, but other than that.
Well, that's exciting. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear more about this. But until then, we'll get Black Panther and the Civil War, so that's
Civil War!
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. What are we at? What, 4 months? 5 months out now? 4 months?
Yeah, four months.
February, March, April, May. 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
It's coming.
That's crazy.
It's coming.
I'm like scared but excited.
I'm so fucking excited.
I know. We're getting Doctor We're getting Doctor Strange at the end of this year. Like we're getting Deadpool in like less than a month, right?
Deadpool is everywhere.
Yeah.
I never thought I would live in a world where Deadpool was literally fucking everywhere.
Great advertising and marketing from that team. Like it's phenomenal job and effort on that.
Mm-hmm. And Ryan Reynolds is such as he was for the whole development of the film, he's such like a key part to that marketing because he's just funny, dude. He has how many Twitter followers, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Millions probably.
In the millions, yeah.
And so then he tweeted out something the other day and like I don't even know. He's like, it had nothing to do with one or the other. He was like, how about that football game? You know what? Look at this fucking Deadpool trailer, though. like he just never stops.
He's
I'm like,
crazy.
damn, like he's really
talk about loving your job and your characters that you portray. Like he's sold on this character.
It's really amazing.
Good for him.
The world would do better to have more actors care about their work and their characters they're playing, like he does.
Easily,
because he's like just gung ho, man.
Another fun person to follow on Twitter while we're mentioning those really quick. Robert Downey Jr. is hysterical on Twitter. Laugh, He's so funny.
He is funny. Right down to his information on there. It just has a picture of Iron Man and his quote is, "You know who I am."
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's just so casual about his life. I love it.
It's pretty amazing.
He's so funny.
Let's see here. Moving on to number 10. Don't expect to see the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh.
When asked about the Collector returning, Benicio del Toro said, which is the actor who plays him, in case you don't know, I don't think so. They would have told me, I hope. I do hope.
This cool.
Yeah, I like Benicio del Toro. I do hope to play that character again at some point. So there's no bad blood, obviously. It's just probably not the time to bring him back. I think we'll see him again. A lot
is happening in Volume 2. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be a very much as we liked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, I think I can speak for both of us when I say like the characters' personal stories, like besides Star-Lord, weren't really touched upon. Mm-hmm. So I know they're continuing Star-Lord's story with his dad coming into the sequel, but I think they're going to start to flesh out a lot of the other characters of the group a lot more, give kind of their backstories, and hopefully they're traveling all over the galaxy and eventually run into these little guys called the Avengers. I don't know. Throwing it out there. Just a good idea.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see him again. It's just not the time probably right now. Yeah. They'll definitely close off his arc in some way or another, I think.
Oh, easily. I'm thinking this is going to be the Avengers coming into this film, though, and like finally making the Guardians known. Like, oh, okay, where you guys are in space. Well, welcome to Earth. We're Earth's mightiest heroes. Now you guys can join us.
Maybe that's the end credits.
The teaser. I would be so happy.
Yeah, I guess it'll all depend on how Civil War ends because I think.
Oh, that's very true.
I think they're going to wind up in space before Guardians wind up on Earth.
Well, Thor Ragnarok is supposed to, right? At least start off. That's where Hulk is, the dirty bastard.
Yeah, that's where Hulk is. I don't know if they're...
He's just chilling in a box.
I don't know what's going to go on with Thor Ragnarok, but I think after Civil War, my personal prediction, I think, is the next time we'll see the Avengers, I think they'll be in space. Because I don't think they're trying to bring Thanos to Earth.
No, I don't think that can work.
Destroy the planet
like that. Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, speaking of, we'll throw this out real quick. The story, one of my stories last week, we weren't able to do that episode, was 67 named characters will appear in Infinity War.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about this on the Level Up show last night, but
that's insane.
It sounds like people are going to get worried because of the Age of Ultron, too much going on, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh, we're setting up a story for all these characters. It's going to be so rushed and bloated and blah, blah, blah. First thing to remember is there's 2 parts.
Yeah.
Right? Second thing to remember is, like we mentioned, this guy is the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
So
they're going to need 67 people.
There's going to be people that show up and die. Pretty much, I'm thinking. I think there's going to be people just coming and going. And
there's definitely going to be the one-offs. I'm very intrigued. I feel like it's going to be very similar to the beginning of X-Men Apocalypse.
Yep.
Or not, I'm sorry, not Days of Future Past, excuse me.
I think you're absolutely right.
Where you see like unknown X-Men characters that haven't been established in the previous films, but like they die and you still care about them. Like I like you're gonna be like, wait, what? Like this guy's that fucking good and that scary and crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of that story. Also, like we're gonna see like a lot of the lesser characters, like I believe Agent 13 and people like those probably count in the 67 listed characters, but she'll probably be like a cameo and be like, Steve, be careful, or like random nonsense.
Yeah, and then there'll be and Mike, speaking of X-Men, actually mentioned that if you think about how many characters were named and seen throughout even like X-Men 3, like there's a lot of little like glimpses of people on the television
Easter eggs,
you know, like. But I do think a majority of them will be in the final battle against Thanos because,
dude, that scene. Just think of that for a second.
I know we talked about that too. I was like, I think that part 2 of Infinity Wars is going to be that when you open a graphic novel and you see that 2-page spread, giant graphic of like the big giant war scene, like that's what we're going to get on the movie screen. Like, man,
the silver screen, as the kids call it.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. I really cannot fucking wait. But Civil War. Civil War.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We got plenty to tie this
so
over.
Dependent upon that damn movie.
I know. Yeah.
I need it.
We will see.
I need it.
Well, Greg, I've got something else that you're going to need here, and you're going to be really excited about it.
That makes me happy to live.
Marvel's Jessica Jones has just been confirmed for a 2nd season by Netflix.
Yes!
No timetable
so
yet.
Happy. The reason no timetable is confirmed is because this one's all dependent on the Defenders and when the hell they get that show off the ground and together and BT dubs. Oh my god, though, Jessica Jones, so good. My favorite of the superhero Netflix stuff, even though there's only been 2. I liked it more than Daredevil. I connected more with the story. I love Kristen Ritter. I love the rest of the cast. David Tennant. I hope he makes an appearance back. Maybe actually becomes Purple as the Purple Man. That would be cool. Yeah, I'm so stoked. Good for them. I'm happy for them. Yeah, this is just awesome. I don't get how Netflix, like, I don't know how me giving them $8 a month gives them the ability and the capability to produce this many series. Because when this all came out, Netflix kind of released a whole bunch of information. They have like another, with all the shows they're renewing, which is already an established 15 to 20 shows, they're premiering brand new shows that are another like 15 to 20 shows. Netflix, I don't get it. I don't know how you're magical. I'm happy I only pay you $8. Please don't change that. And thank you for making all the content you do, because really you're my life. You're my life.
The next story we have is even playing off of that, but real quick, I just checked Ryan Reynolds' Twitter. Well, fun fact number 1, he actually only has 910,000 followers.
That makes me sad.
I thought that would have been more. That's still a crazy amount.
The person on Twitter is Justin Bieber, so if that skews
naturally
anything, yeah.
But the one tweet, he says, Betty White was born 94 years ago. Sometime later, this movie got made. Coincidence? Hashtag Deadpool.
Coincidence. I hope Betty White makes an appearance in the movie just because I love her.
They did do a film before together.
Ryan and Betty?
Yeah, he was in.
With Sandra Bullock.
Right, you nailed it. Yep. I forget what that's called, but
where they get married. Yeah, she has the heart attack on the plane, and then she's like, "Just kidding, guys. I love Betty White."
Boss, in that, right?
She was Betty White was the Sandra Bullock was.
Sandra Bullock was his boss, and then
he was like the assistant.
Yeah. His family lives in Alaska, right?
The eagle takes the mini dog out of Sandra Bullock's hands, and she's like, "Oh my god, I lost the dog." I love that movie. Such a good movie.
I mean, love is a strong word. I watched. I sat through it more than once, so it was okay.
No, I love that movie. That's a good movie.
Moving on to our last news story. Speaking of how amazing Netflix is, they show their confidence in Jon Bernthal's Punisher by beginning development of a Punisher spin-off series.
Like what?
What do you think about that?
Okay, so number 1, that confirms all of my wishes, hopes, and dreams that Jon Bernthal is going to crush this role.
Yeah, it sounds like
this character. Like what? The best part about this is like this is just so awesome. I have no words because I'm so happy. Like nobody thought the Punisher would be getting his own series. Like that's crazy. That's so crazy. Good for him. Props to you. I know when this story came out again, Thomas Jane also did like aka the previous Punisher from the films, just in case you didn't know who I'm talking about. He gave a nice little nod again and was like, congratulations. So that's awesome. Support from the past roles or the past people who have played this role. And good on Jon Bernthal, dude. Like coming off The Walking Dead, especially, like I feel like he was really a nobody actor, and now he's just rising in the ranks. So
yeah, for sure. Thomas Jane was my Punisher. I have a very strong feeling that it's going to be Jon Bernthal.
Yeah, me too.
This. He's one of those guys where like it's just perfect.
Especially because you just caught up on The Walking Dead too, so you got to see him menacing as shit as Shane.
All the way caught up, actually. Finally.
Oh my god, dude! Like, how scary was Shane before his time? Like, what?
When does that come back?
That is February 14th. It's Valentine's Day is the premiere.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Which is perfect for me because I'm single, so Walking Dead.
I'm not single, but we like TV, so I'm sure we'll be watching it anyway.
He goes, I'm not single, ladies and
gentlemen. Well, that does it for all the news we have for you today. So it's time, of course, for our topic of the week this week, brought to you by Gregory Virga.
It's topic of the week. Topic of the week, talking about topics during the week. On the heels of Ryan Coogler, and I know how excited we both were for the casting of Ryan Coogler, aka Creed director, directing Black Panther. That's
what I call him.
I call him Rai Rai, so it's like weird that we all went to high school together. I think I actually remember seeing you now. On the heels of that statement, of that announcement, and how excited we both were, I wanted to get from you. We've always talked about ideal sequences to come about, etc., movies, video games, blah blah blah. What would be your perfect pair up of two forms molding together, director wise, television or movie, of an unknown character that we have yet to see out in the world?
So let me get this straight.
I'll give you an example. For me personally, I go to the story of, I really need a Teen Titans movie, live action. I need Mark Webb, aka the director of The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and 500 Days of Summer, one of my favorite movies of all time. I need him to do a Teen Titans series where Nightwing and Starfire, he does the love story, because he does the love story so well, and those two characters deserve their fair shot on the silver screen.
So we're picking franchises and directors.
Yep.
To direct these franchises.
Exactly. Unknown, not already established ones. Do you follow that?
Characters?
So, like, yeah, like, no, well, like, Ryan Coogler got Black Panther, and before this happened, Black Panther was kind of like an unknown, is what I mean by that.
The directors can be known, but the characters should be of the lower.
That we've not already seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily. If you have one that you want to shout out,
just that we haven't seen yet on screen.
Yeah. That we haven't seen in movie or television form. Especially on the heels last week. I know I was sick, but we got confirmation that the Teen Titans live action show on TNT is a no-go. The script got canceled, and that show isn't happening. I'm so sad.
I'm gonna go.
Hit me with it.
Well, this is kind of a cheat, because we've technically seen this character, but nobody wishes they did.
I heard you typing, so I know you're Googling stuff over there.
Oh, I'm a Googling fool.
Google free, yeah.
Venom. Can I say Venom?
Oh, okay, yeah, you can definitely say Venom. We don't talk about him being portrayed on screen. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Venom, and I'm gonna say.
What storyline? Like a Venom Carnage? Like just a Venom origin?
I would be fine with a Venom Origins story. You know what? There was I'm trying to remember the actor who did it, but there was a web series. Oh, the guy from True Blood. He played Eddie Brock in this web series about Venom.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll have to link me the web series link.
I'll look around for it. It was kind of a noir take.
That's awesome. That sounds incredible. Which actor from True Blood? Did you watch True Blood?
I regretfully watched more of True Blood than I care to remember.
Who did he play on the show?
He played the sheriff, the younger guy.
Oh my god, he's awesome.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he has an accent in real life.
I don't know, does he?
Yeah, he's blonde hair, he has the six-pack abs. Jason, he played Jason on the show. The Sookie's brother.
I think so.
Yes, I love him. Jason something.
Ryan is his name.
Ryan, no, but he played Jason on the show.
He played Jason Stackhouse here.
Jason Stackhouse, yeah. What's the actor's name?
Ryan Quentin. If that's
I like him. He's a good kid.
Yeah, he played Eddie Brock in this.
He would make a good Eddie Brock.
Should look it up. It was.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up for sure.
Different. But Guillermo del Toro is my director. Famous horror director doing a Venom movie.
Good pick, Dean. That's a good one.
Thank you very much.
That's a good one. Do you have anything else that comes to mind? My other one was this isn't really a lesser known character. I mean, for not for you guys, because I shout it down your throats all the time, but I would really also love to see Batman Beyond, and I want the Russo brothers to do that movie because I feel like what they did with Captain America Winter Soldier would be everything I need them to do with a Batman Beyond. And I need that to happen. It's never going to happen because they're so closely associated with Marvel. And who knows if we'll ever see Batman Beyond in anything ever, except for the Snapback Team bought me. But
I think we will. I really do.
I need it, Dean. Batman Beyond would be perfect because after all these origin stories, after all these reboots, to see a new Batman. We've only ever seen Batman in the movies as Bruce Wayne. This is this is Terry McGinnis. Let him, and Bruce Wayne's still in it. That's the best part. It's like the old people would have something to look back on and the new kids would have a new Batman too. I don't know. It just makes so much sense to me. What was your second pick? Did you have another one? Sorry.
I'm developing it as we speak.
I hear the fingers going on the keyboard.
I have to make sure it's good because I don't like to just say these things. You know what I mean? But the first thing that came to my mind, actually, without Googling anything, was Green Lantern, directed by James Cameron.
Ooh.
Who did Avatar. I think he would handle that.
Yes.
The
spectacle of it.
Otherworldly, kind of like big scope kind of a
thing. What is James Cameron doing with his life currently? Avatar. He's making like the Avatar sequels, right?
He's making Avatar like 3 through 31 right now.
God bless him. I would really like to see, because I have to give a shout out to my girls. We all know I'm a big feminist. I would love to see a Batgirl solo film, maybe ending with the Killing Joke storyline. And recently we're getting the Killing Joke animated movie, which is going to be coming from DC, I think within the next couple months. It's definitely set to release this year. And they already said that the Killing Joke comic book itself doesn't have enough fleshed out story content in order to make a whole full feature length film. So they're adding content to that. So if maybe they could adapt the animation later this year into a live action film, that would be awesome. Batgirl, I think, makes sense for a lot of young girls. We already saw the success of Supergirl with all these girls supporting her, Kara. So to see Barbara in action would be awesome. As far as a director for my Batgirl movie, I don't know who I would pick for that. That one's very tough.
You got to pick.
I know.
Any good female directors that can make maybe a good female, feminine powered movie?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google some female directors really quickly. But the first one, like I said, I need Teen Titans and I need Mark Webb on that. Mark Webb is one of my favorite directors. I love how he nails love stories. And we talk about this all the time, but that ending scene in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Gwen and Peter is something that, out of all the shit you can say about these two movies, like, that moment, dude, is something so fucking special. The way it's shot, the web turning into a hand and going to clasp her, and then the acting from both characters, like all under his direction, dude. One of my favorite scenes in like a lot of superhero films. I love a good love story. I'm a shipper.
I feel that. I get down with that.
I need that a lot. Are you a big Teen Titans fan?
Never got into the Teen Titans personally. I don't dislike them by any stretch of the imagination, but I never got into them personally.
Did you know Nightwing and Starfire fell in love? They have like a lot of sex in the comics.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but I didn't actually like read any of it myself.
Yeah, they go on dates on the Cartoon Network animated show, but like that's not the same for me.
Not the same for me either.
Yeah, and that would also give us Nightwing too, which is really, really cool to think about.
I want somebody to do Nightwing.
Yeah,
not Robin, not Dick. Nightwing. I want to see Nightwing.
Yeah. That would be a cool title if that's what the movie was called. Dick Grayson. The flying...
Batman's friend Dick.
Yes. That would be awesome. It's like Batman calling the friend Dick. I love that so much. I'm trying to think of female directors, and this sounds so sexist and fucked up, but I can't think of any.
There's not that terrible? Many. It's not... I don't think sexist on our end. I think it's sexist on the film industry's end. That they're not hiring more female directors to do their projects. That's why we don't know of too many.
One that comes to mind quickly, I don't know, did you see Unbroken this year?
No.
It was directed by Angelina Jolie, and it was about a guy who's I'm pretty sure he was in the Olympics.
I remember the trailer very well.
Yeah, and he ends up winning gold and then ends up getting shipped off to war, becomes a prisoner of war, and like his whole life crumbles around him. And that was actually a really good movie. So maybe give Angelina Jolie a shot at Barbara Gordon. I would be okay with that. It kind of had like an uplifting, inspiring story, which is kind of like Batgirl, but then it ends tragically, which is definitely Batgirl story. So yeah, I would give Angelina Jolie a shot at that.
I would like to see Spider-Man Noir. the
Okay.
old school black
Yes.
and white.
This is like the
Spider-Man.
one from Shattered Dimensions, right? That I know
Yes,
about.
correct.
Okay. Okay.
Done by Mr. Martin Scorsese.
Ooh, that's a really good pick.
I'm aiming high with my directing choices.
I really like your Venom and I know, yeah, James Cameron too. Like,
Hey, I'm
this
just
is
saying, if this is a
none of
dream
these are
world,
real.
why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Guillermo del Toro doing Venom. I feel like he would love that character.
Yeah, that would be
I'm
cool.
surprised that hasn't already happened. That one I don't think is that far off of being a dream. I feel like that would make sense kind of a lot.
I think that would be cool if they did like an alternate, just a one-off Hulk movie where you view Hulk through the people's eyes instead of viewing him as a hero through Hulk's eyes, and like a Guillermo del Toro based Hulk movie where like he's just this horrifying monster that it's like nobody can stop. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy to think about. That's really true. I feel like about that character.
Yeah, because
He's
you're
the
only
worst.
looking at him. You're only looking at him the way they want you to.
Yeah.
But then, like in Age of Ultron, they actually did a pretty good job at making you feel how everyone else feels because they pan around the city.
And it's crumbling.
Everyone's
around
like crying and they're like horrified and like
when he goes through that mall with the Hulkbuster
Yeah.
and that whole fight scene when they're in the mall and they go down the elevator shaft and there's all those families who are holding all their loved ones and running away in terror. I'm like, wow, dude. Like,
yeah.
that was when it hit me for the first. I was like, that's messed up. Like,
Yeah,
none
it's
of this
crazy.
is good. I mean, it looked
would've-
awesome. It was good, but
Yeah, it looked great. It was just horrifying for the people of Sokovia. I would have honestly chosen Lord and Miller for a Spider-Man, but that's actually a reality now. They're doing the animated Spider-Man film.
yeah, on Sony's end, they're doing that, right? That's the upcoming Sony animated Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the one that just got. It was just delayed a little bit. I forget to when, but yeah, that's gonna be. Good.
I'm so excited for that. I'm happy that that one's going to be animated. I feel like an animated Spider-Man movie would do well too, especially for the kiddies, and by kiddies I mean me and you.
I think the action sequences, like the web swing, is gonna really pay off if they do it in like that Pixar kind of style. That's
Oh my god! Imagine they did it like Pixar
I
animation.
think that's what I assumed it was gonna be like. I could be wrong, but that was just what I immediately assumed.
Oh my god, my whole mind just blew the fuck off.
Right, dude? A Spider-Man like Pixar style movie would
What?
be insanely
Who
cool.
do you want? I don't think we have it confirmed yet. Who do you want in the new Spider-Man movies and live action and in the animated his love interest to be?
I've always liked Mary Jane and him personally.
Yeah.
I like their dynamic because it's not to get too cheesy. It's just like, as I think I've talked about this a little bit before. I like that it's a real just like test of love. Like, he's such a nerd. He's not like this good looking superhero. He's like a dork. He's okay looking, you know. And Mary Jane is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And like,
He gets her.
she doesn't pay anyone else any mind, doesn't give him the time of day because she loves Peter and he loves her. And like, I always loved him and Mary Jane. They're like such a classic.
I'm so happy that this was my topic of the week because we arrived at Dean making that statement and that just warmed my heart. I'm like tearing up over here. What is that nonsense? That was beautiful.
I always loved that about, well, because
Wow.
I put a lot of thought into it because Spider-Man's been my favorite since I was a little boy.
That was like the most beautiful thing I think you've ever said.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
I'm glad it could be about Spider-Man.
That's so true. That's so true. Like, that whole statement, like, he gets the best girl, but that's the thing is, like, everyone's always like, oh, he's a nerd. Like, he gets like the popular, amazing, gorgeous girl, but like you said, like, she thinks that in her head about him.
Right.
Like, that's the craziest part is, like, in her mind, she's not like, oh, I'm the popular girl that got the nerdy kid. In her mind, she's like, I got the 10 out of 10.
Right. Exactly.
Wow.
That's exactly
Dean,
it.
that's some trippy ass shit, and I just feel like you took me to therapy, and I'm so that was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad this moved you so much.
I liked that so much. But yeah, that was our topic of the week. Unless you have any more.
No, I'm good. I think
Yeah.
we hit some pretty good ones.
Yeah, I'm still vying for James Cameron to come over and do a superhero film,
Dude,
but
James Cameron, Green Lantern, chalk it up to a victory.
I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna happen, but like I feel like it's not gonna happen.
I would really like to see a Nova film just to tie mine off personally. I don't know who would direct it, but I would love to see a Nova outer space based film.
There needs to be something in space
There's
that
to be more in
takes place
space.
in space, if that makes sense. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy's in space, but like it doesn't take place in space. Like, I want like Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
but like with superheroes. Like, I want a fight
Honestly,
scene in the stars.
Yeah, I honestly
Like, that's
thought
what
we were
I
gonna
mean.
get that when Guardians was coming out because of all the rumors with Iron Man's space armor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, dude, Iron Man's gonna show up. There's gonna be like some, but it didn't happen, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I
that's
think,
what makes me excited if like the Avengers are teased at the end of Guardians, because then like that opens up all of those rumors to be viable. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
That would be crazy. That would be
It's
crazy.
outer space is really popular in movies right now too. So I think it's a
Yeah,
matter of
space
time.
kind of became the new zombies, I feel.
It really did, yeah.
Except for Pride and Prejudice and
Real
Zombies,
quick.
which why is that a film?
Before we go, out of the 3 big space films, just to go off topic completely,
3 big space films.
Interstellar, Gravity, and The Martian. Have you seen them all?
Yes.
Rank them for me, please.
Ooh. We're not including Star Wars, correct?
No, Star Wars wins everything.
Okay, good, because Star Wars was my number 1. Interstellar, The Martian, and Gravity. I'm gonna go 3-1. Okay, so I'm starting from my least favorite and then going to my favorite.
Okay,
just to ramp
got
this
ya.
up for the kids at home.
Got ya.
Okay. I'm gonna go The Martian,
Interesting.
number 3.
So far.
I'm gonna go Gravity,
Okay.
number 2, and I'm gonna go Interstellar as number 1.
Greg, you fucking nailed it, Greg.
Yeah!
That's my ranking. I talked about this with my buddy Eric. Viewers. I don't know
Oh
if you
God,
know.
what did Eric have to say about this?
Eric, we just watched The Martian over the weekend together. He hadn't seen it. I had seen it already. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it again.
Pause
So we
this really
watched it.
quick. I feel like Eric is our kind of funny Kevin. Like he's like off screen, but we reference him so goddamn
Yeah.
much. Oh, sorry.
He really is. But he hadn't seen it, so I was like, I'll watch it again. And then I asked him. I fell asleep. I consciously fell asleep because I worked that morning, and I was like, listen.
And it's not
I'm
that great of
gonna
a
fall
movie in
asleep.
my opinion, but
I was like, finish the movie, wake me up when it's done.
oh.
And so he did. And I texted him the next morning, and I was like, how did you like the movie? He was like, yeah, I liked it. It was a little slow, blah, blah. I was like,
Yeah.
and then I asked him the same question to rank them. And he went Interstellar, The Martian, Gravity.
From 3 to 1?
No.
Oh, or 1 to 2, like Martian was second.
He liked
Okay.
Interstellar the best, The Martian second best, Gravity the least.
The thing that gets me with these movies, I know it's a completely random tangent, but the thing that gets me is The Martian, I feel it was so slow at times, and I feel like they had such a great cast of characters, or actors, excuse me, that were so underutilized. And as great as Matt Damon is, I feel like he couldn't pull off that story by himself.
Yeah.
And all of the scenes that you got that were back on Earth and people dealing, or even the space team that was like coming home and dealing with the loss of Matt Damon, I feel like those should have been a lot more at the forefront, especially with the caliber of actors and actresses that they had, like Jessica Chastain, Rooney, Kate Mara, Kristen Wiig, even like so underutilized. And then Interstellar obviously is the best one because that story is just fucking crazy that somebody could think of that nonsense and
I
make
loved
it into a
Interstellar.
film. Interstellar was
Interstellar was
incredible.
awesome.
My
I
favorite
said-
movie.
I said Gravity before The Martian just because I thought Gravity of the 2 movies, this is so, I can't even believe we found ourselves here to end this
I
show.
know.
But I appreciated the way that they were both movies about someone isolated
Yeah.
somewhere in space.
Yeah.
And I thought that
Gravity's moments hit a lot harder.
Yeah, and Gravity was, they nailed that feeling of seclusion because
Yeah.
she didn't have a team of people that she was
Yeah.
communicating with on Earth. Like, and even just the shots going back to NASA, even when he wasn't talking to them,
Yeah.
it made you feel less alone. You know what I mean? Like, there's people
Yeah.
out there that know what's going on. They're trying to find him. And like, Gravity was like, this lady is all alone, and she has to figure out how to get back by herself.
Sandra Bullock, props to you in that film because especially towards the end of that movie where she is in seclusion, everything that she goes through, I feel like is so heartfelt and hits all the heartstrings because it's genuine of how a human being would react. When she has the delusion of seeing everyone, her family, and she has these flashbacks and she's thinking about all these moments where she's telling you the stories. And in the beginning, this woman's overconfident as shit. She's like, I'm the best technician they have here. I'm awesome. And then when shit hits the fan, she loses her mind.
Right.
Like she can't process anything. She almost kills herself time and time again. What a great, I loved Gravity a lot. That was a very good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
It's a shame too, because I really wanted to enjoy The Martian more and I didn't as much.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but I thought tonally it was a little off. They wanted it to be,
Yeah.
you know, a space movie. They wanted it to be like dramatic, but then they
Like
also wanted it to be a
spectacle, yeah.
comedy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a little all over the place for me.
The novel's really good. Read the novel.
I
The
heard
novel
that.
by Ridley Scott is incredible.
I've heard that. Yeah.
It's a short read too. I think it's only like 300 and some odd pages, but
cool.
really, really good. But
All
that's
right.
my nerdy book readerness. Yeah.
Well, we did it. That's another episode of Power Up, normally your favorite superhero podcast.
No.
Thank you guys for watching. You can catch the show on youtube.com/the Level Up Show, level spelled LVO, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Or you can get it on Tuesday nights 5 days earlier by becoming a patron at patreon.com/the Level Up Network for just $1 or more if you're feeling generous.
Just one.
We really appreciate it. So
Yeah.
thank you so
Also,
much.
BT Dubs, guys, if you have questions, you can send them to powerup@thelevelupnetwork.com.
Indeed.
Your feedback, comments, concerns. We kind of ran a little over with this episode because we
We
got
did.
into
We'll
random
save-
tangents.
yeah.
But we have some questions.
We'll
I
get
think
to them in
Mel
the next one.
just emailed us. Rick has us, so we'll get you guys for sure.
We'll spend how about we make either a shorter news section or top of the week, and we'll spend more time on your questions.
We'll do like a bunch of questions.
Because we do appreciate you sending them. We always ask you to send them, so we're gonna get to them 100%.
This was my comeback episode though, so we had to get through a lot.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just real quick, credit to superherohype.com
Yes.
and their parent company, comingsoon.net. That's where I get all of my news. If you guys want to read more about anything we talked about here, go there, give them some support. And that's it.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at the @beast_Greg. You can follow Greg at Greg Virga. Take care. Power up.
Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex.
I look really good in a tuxedo. I found out again last night.
Oh yeah, you're a snazzy guy.
As my mug says, I'm #blessed.
Oh my god. #Bellest.
B to the L to the ESSED. I'm blessed. Yeah, B to the L to the ESSED. I'm blessed. Dean, I miss your face.
I miss you too, buddy.
Oh my god, dude! Like, my voice is. You could probably still hear it a little bit. It's like nasally still, but like it's still. I think the bronchitis that I'm just getting over.
I'm glad you're feeling better though.
Oh my god, I feel amazing. You're fucking crazy.